there's never been a time where you can spend an hour or two creating a 30-second short, right? And then go viral on every single platform.
Lunch with Lou, lunch with Lou, lunch with Lou, lunch with Lou.
Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the e-commerce and Amazon FBA podcast. Okay, one of my favorite subjects. We're going to be talking about the power of video and UGC content for your e-commerce site. We're going to be talking about what is social commerce and how brands are differentiating themselves in 2023. What's important, what's the importance of video and UGC on site, and what's the easiest way for brands to get started with video. Let's get started. It's another episode of the Lunch with Norm e-commerce and Amazon FBA podcast. All right, like I said, we are going to be talking about the power of video and UGC for your e-commerce site. Popular topic. We've been talking about it a lot. With 12 years of experience in the Shopify ecosystem, our guest has a proven track record of delivering an exceptional customer experience for brands. His first startup was successfully acquired when he was 23 years old, and he is currently building a cutting-edge video stack for Shopify brands that transforms their online store into an immersive, social-driven experience. This includes features such as shoppable videos, on-site live streaming, and video chat, all designed to mimic the experience for browsing and shopping in-store. Today, first-time guest is Max Drut. And Max, I hope I said your last name right. Anyways, let's have a quick word from our sponsor. I want to give a quick shout out to an incredible group of sponsors to help keep this podcast running. The Lunch with Norm podcast would not be possible without the support of the following sponsors: Post-Purchase Pro, Clear Ads, Jeff Schick Law, Rebate.com, Honu Worldwide, Digital Blacksmiths, Netfluence, Extreme Power, and Startup Club. Now back to the show. Welcome, Max.
Thanks for having me, Norm. Excited to be here.
Yeah, this is great. So the popular topic right now, 2023, 2022 was all about influencers and using UGC content. So let's get into it. I'd like to, first of all, one of the things that came up was social commerce. So what the heck is social commerce, and how do you differentiate your brands in 2023?
Yeah, so social commerce has definitely been a bit of a hot button topic, I would say, in the last year or two, and it's definitely getting tons of steam. And essentially, what social commerce enables is the idea of driving sales through community. So it's essentially like community-driven sales, right? And there's a few different ways of the way you can sort of like set that up in today's day and age, especially in the U.S. market. And that is through your IG shop. So I'm sure you've seen a lot of brands setting up their Instagram shops where you can either tag a product off a post and then either go to website or even like check out natively through Instagram. I do know that they're pulling that feature. It's kind of silly why they're doing that, but that's one of the things. TikTok Shop just recently rolled out too. And again, it's sort of a very similar experience of you being able to list all your products within TikTok and not have and then have people sort of like seamlessly and natively check out directly through the experience, right? And this is sort of very prevalent in China, and this is sort of where this trend kind of gained steam in the last 4 years or so. But the main sort of differentiator between the Chinese market and what we have here is we don't really have those super apps, right? So in China, they have like WeChat, for example, or they have Taobao, and basically there's really only like 4 apps in that market where you can do everything in, right? You can have all of your friends on there, talk to them. You can order your Uber from there. You can pay somebody in store through it. So you can basically do everything through these super apps, right? Obviously in the US, we're a bit fragmented, right? So we have, your Pinterest, you have your Instagram, Facebook, right? And there is a lot, right? So it can definitely get a bit overwhelming for a brand. And the way we sort of like to think about and approach is, where is your community, right? Like, where is your target market? Are they hanging out on Facebook? Are they hanging out on Instagram? Are they hanging out on TikTok, right? Pinterest. So really being able to sort of like double down on whichever channel you think your target audience is hanging out on. And that could be based on what community they're a part of, right? With their age group, right? So it can be a lot of these things, and figuring out where your audience is obviously key. And I think what sort of the future of social commerce, I think in general, is being able to like truly replicate that experience that you see on socials on your own brand channel, right? And you can be asking me like, hey, like, what is the point of doing that if you have Instagram, you have TikTok? And the whole basis of it is truly owning your data, right? Like, you don't want to be a quote unquote slave to the algorithm, right? It's great for top of funnel reach, great for discovery. But I think where it's all headed towards is truly owning your own channel, owning that email, right? And owning that audience. And I think when you couple that with a really good social strategy, whether it be on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and then tie all of that in onto your own store and still be able to provide that general experience that people are used to on socials, I think a brand can absolutely kill it in the coming year or two. So
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different challenges right now. Not challenges, but so many different techniques right now than before. Like, I think everything comes back full circle, but it's just a different name. You know,
yeah,
when you talk about influencers, or if you're talking about getting the brand out there, this is very similar to radio advertising. We talked about this before, where you had to have those 7 touch points. Well, maybe with influencers, or having the UGC content out there on these different platforms, yeah, you might need to have 7 touch points within the platform, or maybe it's 70 touch points now, because it's always in front of your face. But how do you get that content? Like, you just said your brand has to become its own channel. So where do you even start with that? I mean, it sounds like it's just an arduous task.
I think I agree, to get started, it might seem overwhelming, right? But I think nowadays you have tools like Shopify, right? WooCommerce, BigCommerce, etc. It is so easy. Like, you can get basically, if you have some semblance of a storefront, or you're already, let's say, drop shipping on Amazon, or you're selling stuff on Amazon, right? Getting up and running with your own site, your own domain, and your own storefront can probably take you less than a day, right? Like, there's tons of YouTube videos out there on how to do it. It's not like it used to be like 10 years ago, for example. It was very hard to get started with a store. I think in today's day and age, I mean, there's just so many tools out there, and it's so simplified, where you can literally be like a 12-year-old, hop on Shopify, register your domain, and get a storefront up and running in literally a day, right? So I think that's definitely like a big step forward on owning data, right? Because with Shopify, you're getting that email address, you can market to those customers after, right? So you are owning that data essentially. So, using any of these website builders like Squarespace even, right? Very easy to get started, extremely simple. And you can start getting emails like tomorrow, and I think that's key, of really owning that email, getting that zero party data in, because, with recent iOS updates, with 14 updates, third party tracking is extremely tough nowadays. So really being able to, again, like, own that data, own that email, and own that customer, I think is key to driving brand growth for the next, foreseeable future, at least.
I guess the key is, you can go and build a site, but how do you keep those customers coming back? Like, you just said you could own those emails and send out, own the email list, and send out emails, but just making sure that it comes back, that people are getting. I don't know if you want to call it quality over quantity, but when they do come back, or when you are sending out, that they're getting the right information. And that kind of leads to what we're talking about today,
Mhm.
with good video and good UGC.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, good marketing doesn't feel like marketing. Let's put it that way, right? Like you shouldn't, if even if you think about like, let's say an ad or a video that entice you to purchase something, they're most likely not trying to sell you that thing, right? Like marketing, a good marketing makes the consumer feel smart, right? I guess like that's a good way to phrase it. And yeah, I totally agree. It's one thing spamming your customers with sort of irrelevant content versus actually providing that value. And I do believe, and this is sort of like evident even on social platforms, where video is definitely playing a key role on getting that information to that customer, right? And like, there's never been a time where you can spend an hour or two creating a 30-second short, right? And then go viral on every single platform. I think that hasn't existed yet until now. And if you look at the sort of the consumer experience nowadays on like on any social platform, really, right? It's all video based, right? Or I would say
That's so
80%.
important right now.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Even Amazon, I know, rolled out their TikTok discovery sort of product within their app, right? So it's very similar to like TikTok, right? Where you can sort of like scroll through the video content. This is an announcement like the other week, so this is like very recent. And I actually do have an inside scoop with Amazon. I have a few friends there, and their big focus is retention and conversion on site, right? And it hasn't been like that in the previous like 5 years, where it's all been about growth, growth, growth at all costs. And now they're at mass scale basically, and they're really trying to figure out how they can step away from this sort of transactional experience that
Mhm.
we're so used to on Amazon, right? So video does play a very crucial role in that sense, right? So that's evident with Amazon Live, right? They rolled out their live shopping product and their short form video products that you're seeing within their app. And I think that's going to be key for any e-com store going forward, right? Like if you just think about the e-com experience in the last 10, 15 years, again, thank you Amazon, made it very transactional, right? But shopping online hasn't really been a thing, right? You're not really shopping online, you're buying online, right? Most of the time you already know what you're buying, or it's a very impulse sort of driven decision, right? But I think with Gen Z and the younger gen, right, shopping online is becoming more of a thing, right? And that's where video comes in, right? Like there's just nothing better than a 30-second short or even a long form video, right? Where you can just deliver so much information in that amount of time versus your traditional e-com experience that's been around for, again, 10, 15 years of product image, right? Maybe there'll be like an embed somewhere deep within the product page, right? But it's mostly been images, product descriptions, and that's
Right.
basically it, right? Like relatively unchanged. And that's exactly where video steps in, right? Like people are subconsciously spending a lot more time viewing videos. And even if you look at just overall trends on how Gen Z is consuming video. On average, I think people are spending around 100 minutes per day consuming video online, right? That's a tremendous opportunity for e-com brand because that's sort of the norm, right? Even if, let's say, you do have an endless scroll directly on your site, expect your time spent on site to double or triple just because of that sort of innate habit of just scrolling through stuff, right? Whether you like it or not, it's almost subconscious at this point, right? Like you put somebody in front of YouTube Reels or TikTok Shorts, they're going to be sitting scrolling through it until you kind of catch yourself off guard, like, hey, like, what am I doing? Why,
Yeah.
why am I scrolling through all this stuff? So, sort of mimicking that experience, and again, it's tying in social commerce with your own brand owned channel of you know, for example, like plugging in live comment. That's one of the products that we enable is this endless sort of feed scroll, right? So you can have 30 or 40 UGC assets right above your text reviews, let's say, right? It's almost like a carousel, but once you actually click into the experience, it's an endless scroll, just like you would see on TikTok or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, right? So really trying to like mimic that experience that we're seeing online on socials, but again, it's happening on your own brand owned channel, right? So you don't have to dev anything out. It's plug and play. It's literally just like an app that you install in your store, and you upload your videos or just pull them from your socials, and then you can embed them throughout your site journey, right? So you can have this on the homepage for product discovery, right? Let's say you have a big catalog of, a few hundred SKUs, right? So instead of just driving the customer to a homepage and letting them sort of figure out what they'll like, they can go into this video experience and scroll through, 100 different shorts and figure out what they like, or inspire them on, a look, or let's say if it's a makeup brand, right? It's sort of a like a skincare routine, for example, right? There's just so much that you can do, and again, creating that sort of familiarity between, oh, okay, great, I saw this video ad on Instagram. I'm not just going onto like a random landing page that has nothing to do with that video asset or that influencer, right? It's now you can actually have that opportunity of, okay, I discovered this brand on YouTube through this short, right? I went on the brand's website. Okay, great. There's a bunch of short content now that I can sort of discover, instead of having to go to the brand site, then hop back over to Instagram or back to YouTube to go find some UGC content. And then next thing you know, you see a picture of a dog and then you're gone, right? You spent all of that money driving that customer to your store, right? Just to have them go back to YouTube or go back to socials to go try to find like UGC or reviews, right? So having that content on site, we have a feature where customers can actually like these videos and share these videos directly through your site, right? So you're providing that fun experience for them. It's something they're used to, right? On the scroll. And obviously they can check out directly through the video, right? So they can add something to cart and then seamlessly check out through the brand store with basically 2 clicks, right? Directly from the video, not having to leave anywhere, not having to do anything.
Yep.
And all the e-com specific analytics, right? So like click-through rates, add to carts, average watch times, just things that you wouldn't normally see on YouTube or on socials, because these aren't e-com specific video tools, right? And that's sort of where we step in.
So you mentioned something a little earlier on about Amazon, and a lot of the people that are listening are on Amazon.
Yep.
And I want to make sure I got this right. So I know about Amazon Live. I know about their shoppable videos. I know that they're allowing more videos on their storefront and more on their product listing. They allow 3+3 related.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you know that I don't know about regarding Amazon and allowing video content? Because it sounded like there was something new that they were allowing. Did I misunderstand what you were saying?
No, you got that exactly right. So think of it as like, so this is only for the Amazon app, right? So if you download the app, you'll probably be able to see that feature, and think of it as like essentially like an Amazon for you, right? And I'm using air quotes for anybody that can't see the video, but but it's essentially very similar to like a TikTok for you page, right? Where the TikTok algorithm sort of recommends different style of videos up to your liking. In the Amazon app, they have a very similar feature where you'd go in, you would add your interests, you'd basically toggle them off. And then there's an Amazon like discovery tab. I forgot what the exact word for it, or how they called it internally. But it's basically the For You tab, right? And it's a very similar to the TikTok experience where you're sort of just scrolling through an endless feed of short form video. I'm just not sure exactly if it's an Amazon affiliate that's creating these videos, or if it's individual stores. That's something that we'd have to do a bit of a deep dive, maybe post.
Regardless, you gave me a great idea. So Mary, if you're listening, make sure you mark what we just talked about, okay? And then make sure that you get it to Vandana to do some research, and I will explain after this. But I just had an idea that I got to give you the credit for if this works, and that's building interest of your product, and if you're an influencer, multiple products with your community. So it's an idea. I don't know if it's going to work, but anyways, fingers crossed. And it's just my mind working. It's
love it.
too many things on my mind, but I think this would be a pretty cool idea. Now we are at the bottom of the hour, and at this point, if you do have questions, I see Simon just asked a question, but if anybody else has a question about video, how important the video is right now, what are you doing for your community? How are you addressing this? Where are you getting your UGC from? take one of those questions or comment on it. We want to hear from you. We want you to ask these questions while we've got Max on here. He's the expert. The other thing is we have got an incredible giveaway today. And if you've ever wondered about building this video community, there is a one-on-one going on, and I'll let Max explain that. So what are you doing for a giveaway today, Max?
So running a quick little special for everybody, any of the listeners. So free consult, you can book a call with me, sort of jump on a call. I can walk you through some video tips and tricks and what we've been seeing working for our other brands that are working with us. So can even do an audit for you if you're already running video, whether it be like on socials or on site. Get a free hour with me, chat,
Perfect.
have fun with it. And then we are doing a community special. I don't know, Norm, should I dive into that too?
Yeah, why don't we talk about that? So this is for everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is for everyone for sure. This is for this one's for everyone. So we'll do with one person, can hop on a call with me and sort of do the consult. And then for the entire community, we are giving away 2 free months of LiveCom. So if you're a Shopify store owner or a marketer, you can download Live. If you're coming in from Lunch from Norm, hooking it up with 2 free months at no cost. You can play around with it, test it out, run some live streams, put up some shoppable vids on your store. It's a good time. It's definitely fun to implement, and guaranteed you will see results.
That's awesome. So I see already Rad's got the hang of this. It's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, tag 2 people, and you'll get a second entry. This is going to be awesome. If you don't, or if you've got video up and running, it might suck. You might not be doing it right. And being able to sit down for an hour with Max, man, that's gold. So check it out. Hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, tag 2 people, and you will get a second entry. And also 2 months free. Max said free. So anyways, check it out. It's free. All right. So let's get to a sponsor and we'll come right back. I want to thank Jeff Schick Legal for sponsoring this episode of Lunch with Norm. You've probably heard on the podcast about Amazon suspensions. They're very real. It can happen at any time. And when it does happen, how do you get out of it? How does the little guy like you and me get out of these suspensions without paying an arm and a leg in legal fees? This is where Jeff Schick Legal is here to help. For a very low monthly retainer, for only $89, get access to Amazon attorney Jeff Schick. That's right. You can sit back, relax, enjoy that cup of coffee while listening to the Lunch with Norm podcast, knowing that you have an advocate and a partner in your business success. But wait, just mention Lunch with Norm and receive 50% off the first 2 months. Get the protection you need and visit jeffschick.com today. That's JEFFSCHICK.com. Now let's get back to the show. All right. So I just saw Andrew Smith tuning in. Andrew, where are you today? I'm always curious where he is. One day he's in Ethiopia, the next day he's in Mumbai. I mean, who knows? But let me know. I'm just kind of curious about that. Okay, going back to the importance of video and UGC on your site. Can we just kind of go over that? And once again, what are the main reasons why it is important on your Shopify site to have this?
Yeah, so going back to just overall current consumer behavior, right? Most of the content that we're consuming online is video-based content, right? If you look at an e-com store for the last 10 or 15 years, again, been relatively the same with just images, product descriptions, right? Relatively unchanged. So the basis here is that there's just no better way to actually show and tell what the product is than through video, right? There's just so much you can showcase with lifestyle photography and a good lengthy product description that probably nobody's going to read anyway.
Right.
Right. So that's where video plays a humongous role. I mean, just overall, what we've noticed, right? After, let's say if it's a site that hasn't leveraged any video at all, and they would install live and get a few shoppable vids across the sitemap, we've basically seen an instant conversion lift of up to like 10 to 15%, basically like overnight, right? And the beauty is that there's a few ways you can sort of incorporate video throughout your sitemap, right? Obviously, everybody's familiar with like the YouTube embed or the Vimeo embed. That's not mobile first, right? It kind of looks kind of janky, and it's not on brand at all. And right, so the beauty is that, you know, great, like you have a video embedded somewhere on your PDP, right? You're really unable to track any of like data if you're just embedding with YouTube, right? So like, you know, maybe YouTube gives you like watch times. That's basically it. Nothing really revolving around like store conversion, you know, checkouts, click-through rates. Forget about like tagging products as an overlay in a video and have a customer check out. And another really good use case is around UGC reviews, right? And I think nowadays customers are somewhat skeptical of text reviews, right? Whether you like it or not, is just how consumers are thinking nowadays. Like, you know, it's quote unquote easy for brands like fake text reviews. And I think even if they're real, right? I think in the back of our minds, we're constantly thinking like, oh, is this text review real or not, right? I think with UGC video, it's a lot more personal, and you know, consumers are thinking, oh, like this is a legit review because again, it's video based, and we're seeing a lot of UGC style reviews on socials, right? And sure, it can even be a paid influencer, but I think you as a consumer viewing a UGC video creates a lot more affinity with the brand, right? And it's also just like putting a face behind the brand, which I think a lot of customers are sort of liking the most, right? And just even having a strip of UGC reviews right above your text reviews can increase your site session times by around like 3 to 4x, because you're just having people again sort of going through these and swiping through these UGCs directly on your site. And on top of it, can check out directly through the video without leaving the experience, right? So in terms of watch times, click-through rates, and just people from our data, right? People that are engaging with shoppable vids versus not are 1.4 times more likely to purchase, which is like very statistically significant, right? And again, click-through rates are sometimes 10, 20% on these. Conversion rates in video are 4 to 5% versus, you know, your typical conversion rate online is like 2 to 3, right? So just overall metrics and being mobile first, which I think is key because, you know, 90% of the traffic is mobile anyway. And as I was stating earlier, right, your YouTube embed or your Vimeo embed is not mobile optimized, right? It's not a portrait video, it's horizontal, right? So you have this like weird little block.
I think you called it janky.
Yes. Janky is I mean, it looks janky, right? It's not branded. The player is not branded. It's a Vimeo player or YouTube player, right? There's sure if you do custom development, right, and spend a week or two with a dev and spending a bunch of cash on actually properly embedding this, right? There's no off-the-shelf tool where you just give to a marketer and say, hey, go into the settings, edit all of your branding stuff, make it look pretty, upload your logo, right? And easily embed it. I mean, you can't really do it without Wavcom. So not trying to like toot my own horn here, but
there we go.
Yeah.
And I definitely do have to check out the app because, you know, it, like you said, when you embed YouTube or Vimeo, it's not the perfect way to watch a video. And anyways, I think you've solved that issue. Not pushing your app, but it'd be interesting to see. We've got a few Shopify sites that, you know, we use video on. And like you just said, we embed YouTube. Exactly. So we'll check it out. Now, the other thing I'm interested in, one of the things that you had mentioned pre-podcast, you sent this over to Kelsey, and I was very interested about this, about personalization and e-commerce trends. So how can you put the two together? Like, how do you not just do a broad video? Can you personalize?
So we do have this product within our suite of, so we have 3 products within the suite. One of them is video chat, right? And it's think of it as like FaceTiming, but directly on your store, right? Without like no app download, it's all web-based and it's all happening directly on site. And that's one of an amazing ways to basically provide like an in-store experience for an online shopper. And it's as it sounds, right? Like a customer can book a one-on-one virtual consult through our little like sign up widget. Think of it as like it'll be like above your chat widget, and it's like a little tiny sort of tab that a customer can click and just schedule an appointment, right? And once that appointment actually starts, you'd go on site. Again, they'll get like a text link, right? Text and email link. They'll open up the link, and let's say it's on lunchwithnorm.com. They'll literally go on to lunchwithnorm.com on the homepage, and you can have a one-on-one virtual conference directly with the customer. And what you can do is actually highlight products for them from within your product catalog, right? So directly on the one-on-one conference, they can add it to their cart, and they can check out seamlessly through your store's backend while being on that one-on-one virtual conference, right? So it's personalization again as if they're in store, but this is happening online. So this is great for higher AOV items. Obviously, if it's you're selling a $5 to $10 product, it wouldn't really make sense for you to be spending 15-30 minutes with a customer. But higher AOV stuff, like let's say like a mattress, right, or luxury fashion, luxury jewelry, right? Amazing sales tool to really provide that sort of white glove service for your end customer. That's one amazing tool for providing personalization. And I think where the Lifecom roadmap is, and where we're sort of trying to take the business is getting into sort of ML. And I know these are sort of hot keywords, right? ML and AI, but the way we're sort of thinking about it is displaying the right content to the right customer at the right time, right? And this is the $1 billion question, right? But the way we're sort of envisioning the experience is like, let's say I'm coming in from TikTok to your e-commerce store, right? Shopify store. I should be getting TikTok style content, right? Because I'm coming in from TikTok, right? If I'm a returning customer, let's say, and I bought a hairbrush, I'm more likely going to be buying a complementary product to that SKU, right? So I should be seeing videos based off that product, right? If I'm a returning customer. So personalizing through video, I think, is going to be a future. And just like, just sort of drive the point home, like my Instagram feed is completely different from your Instagram feed, right? I think an e-com store should be exactly like that too, based on my previous purchasing history, right? Based on our reviews data from Yopo, based on your email campaigns, right? So we're sort of going to be grabbing all that data and aggregating it, and then being able to, again, personalize the type of video that you're actually seeing on these product pages or on these home pages, right? Based on all these different zero-party data points that we can grab. So, I think, again, e-com stores are going to be getting extremely personalized, not just, based on like text and recommendations, which is the way we're seeing it now. I think there's going to be a lot more on-site experience that actually going to be personalized for different users. And again, we're already doing that with like one video and live streaming, right? And we're definitely going to be getting into that more with like machine learning and like recommendations APIs.
Right. So last question before we get into the questions, and I think this is so important. We touched on it before, but can we have some action steps, like 3 things or 5 things that the easiest way to get started with video?
Lowest hanging fruit. Hopefully you're a brand that's already posting content online, whether it be Instagram or TikTok. If you're not, you better start doing that yesterday or you're going to left behind. So hopefully you as a brand, you already have a good amount of video content, or you have a video library, whether you're running ads with it, whether you're just posting organic content, whether you have influencers, right? So lowest hanging fruit is literally just grabbing that video content, downloading it into MP4, and then embedding it throughout your sitemap, right? You can use Livecom. There's a few other tools I'm sure that you can find, but hopefully you're running with Livecom. And you can upload these in, right? These are already existing assets, so don't overthink it. You don't have to produce anything extra, right? You can leverage your existing social content, download it, put it into live. Again, this can take you less than an hour to get a bunch of vids up through your sitemap. You upload them into LiveCom, you tag all the relevant products for each of the videos, right? And then there's a few ways you can embed them. So you can have as I mentioned earlier, this like endless scroll, endless feed. Think of it as like a carousel directly on site, right? So you would take, 6 UGC videos that you already have, you download them, upload them into live, tag the products, grab your embed code. Again, this is no code. You're literally just copying and pasting. And then you would add it to your either product description on your product page.
Mm-hmm.
You can create a new section on your homepage, right, for like product discovery. And that's it. You copy and paste that code, and we would automatically generate those 6 or 10 videos that you upload into live. And took a nice, neat carousel directly within that section that you decided to have that on, right? Or you can have it as like a little floating widget. Let's say you want to have like a founder welcome, right? Like, hey, I'm the founder of Norm Podcasts. Welcome to my store, right? And you can have sort of this like floating widget. Think of it as not those pop-ups that are annoying, right? Think of it as more of like your chat widget, but it's a video preview, right? And once the customer actually clicks into it, they go into this like full screen mobile experience where it's the founder saying, hey, check out my store, and you have 4 or 5 relevant products or hot SKUs that you guys just released that are tagged on this video, and a customer can add them to cart directly from the video experience and then check out natively. So again, lowest hanging fruit, grab your existing content, download it, or most brands already have it in Dropbox or have it in their own video catalog, throw it up into live, and then you can easily embed it throughout your site journey.
Okay, fantastic. Kelsey, I think we have a couple of questions. Don't we? A few questions.
Yeah, we have a few questions. Let's see, from Simon. I have a ton of user videos on Instagram and TikTok. Will the app pull this to my website? Do I need to get permission to use these user videos?
So that is a great question. In terms of actually pulling from TikTok or Instagram, we will have that feature coming out super soon. A lot of people are asking for it, but there's tons of free resources online. You can literally look up Instagram Reels to MP4 within Google, and you'll have like thousands of results. And you're literally just grabbing the link off Instagram, putting it into whichever site that you find, and it'll automatically download your MP4 for free. These are free tools, really easy to use. You literally just grab the link of whichever asset, and then you throw it into the site, and it'll download the MP4 for you, right?
Right, and it makes sure that the proper credit goes back, so it'll also tag the person that did the user-generated content. And I think I don't know if Repost will do it for videos, but I know like that's what we use for all our Amazon posts when we get UGC. We just use an app called Repost. Post just grab everything, and then we can repost it very easy. Like it just goes into our photos, and then we upload it into Amazon posts. But I haven't used it for that, but that might be something exactly like you're saying. There are apps out there, Simon.
Yeah, totally free, easy to use. And with TikTok, you can also do like no watermark too. If you literally just look up TikTok, no watermark download, it'll download your TikTok vids without that TikTok watermark that we all know about. Yeah.
And that's important.
Yeah. I would say so. I would say so. Get rid of that watermark. And yeah, you can just use live from there on out and upload those videos that you installed into our platform, and then easily embed them throughout your sitemap. And the beauty is that, since we're hosting these videos, they're not bogging down your site, which is kind of another issue that we didn't really touch upon on video embedding, where if you're hosting these on Shopify, let's say, it'll definitely impact your site speed pretty drastically, I would say. So that's where we come in. Since it's our own like content delivery network that we're using, you can have thousands of videos throughout your site and have no impact.
Okay, very good. Next question.
All right, next question is from Rad.
Hold it. Simon says permissions, copyright. I'm not sure about this. Again, no legal
So
advice, but go
I
ahead.
can chime in there a little bit.
Go ahead.
Depending on whether you're using influencer UGC, where you as a brand are sourcing them, versus actual customer UGC, it is a bit of a gray area, I would say, with customer UGC, right? But if you update your terms of service, and that's what a lot of brands do, they just update their TOS and say, hey, basically, if you guys do tag us on any of your socials, it is free to use, essentially, right? You as a brand, right? So I would take a look at your TOS and just update that in there. If you guys are using influencer UGC, most of the contracts that brands do sign with influencers, you have free right to the content, so you can do anything you want with it, right? So again, depends on how you set up the engagement with your influencer UGC creator. I would just double check what you guys are signing with them, but otherwise, just update your TOS on store, and you'll be able to use your UGC freely.
All right, that sounds great.
Okay, from Rad, we have an Instagram shop. Is it reasonable to direct the customer towards Amazon or our own website?
So great question. Me personally, I would, especially if you're brand building, and depending on what your unit economics look like on these different channels, right? I don't know if you're more profitable on Amazon or more profitable on site. Again, I'll take a look at unit economics and definitely take a look at your conversion rates. I would A/B test each, right? So I would, take X amount of traffic and send them to Amazon, X amount of traffic, send them to your website, compare and contrast your conversion rates. But obviously, I am a little bit biased on fully owning your customer and the brand experience. And if you're a brand builder, right, and you want to have longevity and create LTV and have people actually love your brand, then website for sure. Because obviously, comes in an Amazon branded box. It comes even the tape that they use is Amazon Prime tape, the unboxing, right? The post checkout emails. I mean, there's just so much brand disconnect that happens when people purchase through Amazon. Your messaging. I mean, I can keep going on and on and on about this. I'm definitely a big proponent of sending customers to website, but it depends on the life cycle of your brand, where you're at which stage, and sort of what the goals are for you. But again, if you're a brand builder, website 100% without a doubt.
Okay, I have a question. The length of the video.
Mhm.
So and this is how long is a piece of string question, right? But how long should a video be to be impactful? I have seen people that have brought out like 5-minute videos, which, just like reading bullet points, I don't listen to. Who listens to a 5-minute video? But is there a sweet spot for attention or retention?
I think there's a place for both, right? For short and long form content. And you just have to be thinking about the sort of at which stage of the buying journey is that user, right? Again, with short form content, our average on our platform is around 40. I think it's like 40 or anywhere from 40 to 45 seconds is a sort of our sweet spot,
Yeah.
right? And again, a lot of our content is sort of creating that familiarity between socials and your site, right? So that's what we even encourage our merchants to keep it within that range of 30 to 40 seconds, right? But there is a place for longer form content for sure, right? And that goes around, products that need a little bit more in-depth explanation. We do have a few of those. And again, there is a place for it, right? So a lot of our merchants would even create a separate page for the long form content. Think of it as like your own channel page, right? Just like you would have like a channel YouTube page where you would have a mixture between short form content and long form content, right? And oftentimes you can even have a call to action at the end of your shorter form content saying, hey, we do have a channel page that you can sort of go ahead and check out with a more of an in-depth explanation. One good use case, for example, I know we're all familiar with size charts, right? I'm sure we've all been to a store buying a shirt or something, right? And you see this crazy size chart that you have kind of like no idea what's going on there, right? So we have a few bra brands, so women's garments brands, right? And bras are notoriously, I didn't know this before, but bras are notoriously hard to size for women, right? And looking at these size charts is just like looking at an Excel spreadsheet, right? So what one of our, or a few of our merchants actually did is on that size charts page, they have a product expert doing a short presentation, right? So literally 30-40 second video on like, hey, like here's how to properly size this, right? And they would go through like a measuring tape. I'm not an expert on that part, but that's kind of the idea. So they'll visualize you how to properly size it, and then at the end they'll say, hey, if you want a bit of more of an in-depth walkthrough, right, hop over to this link, and they'll use our embedding feature for long form content. They'll highlight more products, and you can watch like a 3 to 5 minute video on how to properly size and have it fully in depth, right? So again, I think there's a place and time for both, whether it be short form or long form content. But I would say our personal platform average is around that 40-second mark for the majority of our videos.
So here's a little fact. One of our guests, I think Simon might know her, but Sylv, she's been on here before, and she does all this incredible high-end lingerie.
Ooh.
She also does custom bra fitting. One thing I learned, I had no idea. How many types of bras do you think there are, or custom fitting?
Don't put me on the spot.
I'm just
Don't
going to
put me
throw
on
it
the
out
spot
there.
like that.
30,000.
No way. I was gonna say like
30,000. It blew my mind when she told me that.
What?
I turned completely red. Old guy talking about 37,000 different sizes,
That's
shapes,
crazy.
forms.
So did
But
not expect that.
who knew?
Yeah, I was gonna say 100.
Just like
200.
beards. I'll compare it to beards. But anyways, let's
That's
get
funny.
to our last question before I turn too red.
All right, our last question is from Simon. Video file sizes can be pretty heavy, which can harm site speed. How do we work around this issue?
Yeah, so that's the beauty of live. You can upload a 10 gig video, right? And since we're the ones that are hosting it on our CDN, everything is optimized for onset load, right? So we would load the site first. We load our video player last. And again, since we are the ones that are hosting it, it's not hosted on, let's say, like Shopify CDN. You have no impact on site speed whatsoever, right? So zero impact since we're hosting the vids. We're the ones that are loading it through our CDN. So you can have, again, a 5 gigabyte video, 10 gigabyte video, it doesn't really matter. We're the ones that are hosting it. Obviously, we do recommend lighter file sizes so that the video itself loads faster, but the site will never get impacted. And we even, on Shopify, the Shopify team even gave us like the no impact site speed badge for our app. We're like one of the only players in the space that actually have that. So we're like certified by Shopify, no impact on site speed. Rest assured.
Wow.
Yep.
I saw the comment from Simon. Oh my God, this podcast is awesome. Bull's penis on Monday and bras today. Yep. Only the best, Simon. So okay, that's it for the questions. I think, Kelsey, is that right?
That's right. Yeah, all done for the questions.
So contact. How do people get a hold of you or your company?
So 2 ways you can reach me. Obviously, go on livecom.com. That's LYVO. Wait, sorry, I'm misspelling my own brand. That's great. LYVECOM.com. Livecom, LY, that's with a Y, VECOM.com. Or reach me at Max, MAX, at livecom.com. Again, that's LYVECOM.com. Or hit me on my WhatsApp, 201-655-0927. Happy to answer any questions or hook anybody up with any video related tips and tricks.
Okay. Hopefully you join our Facebook group as well.
I will for sure.
Perfect. Okay. So before we get over to the Wheel of Kelsey, we'll have one last word from our sponsor. Launching products isn't like it used to be. To successfully launch your product, you need to hit that algorithm from all sides. Driving external sales, boosting social signals, and increasing product listing engagement are fundamental to success. Rebate is the first and only launch platform that delivers across this broad range. Get your product featured on Amazon.live through Rebate's influencer program. With this service, your product gets instant exposure to large audiences of shoppers and permanent placement on Amazon Influencer Storefront, which drives perpetual sales. Run a sweepstakes campaign on Rebate and connect with shoppers off Amazon. And lastly, drive external sales with tried and true deals campaigns. Visit rebate.com today and get started with your 14-day free trial. Okay, let's go to the wheel.
Okay, here is the Wheel of Kelsey.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for entering today's Wheel of Kelsey. This is for the hour consult with Max. Thank you, everyone who entered. We do this every single podcast. If you are the winner, please email me, k@lunchwithnorm.com, so I can hook you up with Max. And it looks like it's Andrew.
Okay, congrats, Andrew.
Congratulations,
I
Andrew.
don't think you've won in a while, so awesome. This will be a great, it's a great prize for you.
Yeah. I also want to
Andrew's
remind everyone that there is a free 2-month free trial for Livecom. I have the link here. It's livecom.com/norm. I'm going to repost the link so everyone has it. But check it out. And thanks again, Max, for providing both of these giveaways. It's great.
Yeah. And Andrew,
That's
you've
right.
got the perfect products for video. So this is going to work out really well for you. Okay. So Max, if you want to just kick around after you go back into the waiting room, and we'll just wrap up the podcast. Thanks for coming on. It was awesome. I saw a couple of comments that were coming through. Just loving the content today. So thanks for coming on. Hopefully we can have you come back again.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. That was fun.
All right. Okay, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. Want more great information? Don't forget to subscribe by clicking here. Also, if you want to check out our latest podcasts, click over here.
Lunch with Norm.